Hello, everyone, and welcome to the iRacing INDYCAR Open Top Split. It's Monday night, and you all know what that means. It's INDYCARs on iRacing, and it's Clindy, it's Murph, and we are here to bring you some exciting action, Clindy. We've got a star-studded field, at least two pros here this evening. Jason Brophy has decided to grace us with his presence. Good to see Brophy in the top split. We've got Hamilton Akabuezi here, Lorenzo Manfredati here. We do not have some of the other heavy hitters, though. Jaden Munoz, Kevin Burrell, the general, they have decided to give this week a pass. It is a new track, after all, Clindy.
Yeah, they might be waiting to see how others get on first and steal some data from friends, teammates, or allies, as it may be, and see how they can go faster. And if my eyes don't deceive me, I think we might have a new iRacing track record here in qualifying.
You know, that's a great point, Clindy. The overall track record here is held in real life by Carlos Munoz, Dallara DW12, 2018. He left us joined at 58 seconds, 0.7403. And you are not kidding, Clindy. We have pretty much the top 9 have all eclipsed that mark. So fast lap right now is Lorenzo Manfredati, 57.445. So he's almost a second quicker than real life, Clindy.
Not only real life, but also the other E-Pros. Weren't you looking at the all-time iRacing record? Wasn't that a 58.2 or something similar? And if you can't recall, it's okay. Maybe I got the numbers switched up. I have dyscalculia. I've decided. I've self-diagnosed today.
I don't recall, Clindy. I don't think I looked up the iRacing record. I did look up the real life record, and we're definitely faster than that. We're gonna get to some drivers here for you to watch. There's a MadWorks entry. That's our good friend and fellow competitor Matt Taylor. Cannot miss that car, can you, Clindy?
No, it shows your face right back at you. It is like looking into a mirror.
It is indeed. Matt Taylor comes across the line, and he is going to go 10th quick. Let's see, who else we got out here? We got Hamilton Akabuezi somewhere in the ether. Here he comes. This is lap number 1, so we're going to get the inputs put up here. And while we do that, we will tell our loyal fans about the weather. Right now, 67 degrees in the air, 98 on the track, Clindy. We have a slight wind out of the southeast, but you could not ask one more time for any better conditions for a motor race.
Well, that's the beauty of being virtual, is you can set the weather however you'd like, make it as grueling or as gorgeous a day as you would like. Today, we got the gorgeous.
Yes, we did. Definitely gorgeous indeed. Watching Hamilton Akabuezi, we're going to jump onto the, let's see. Let's jump up top. There's Hamilton working through Portland. Just around turn 12 here, onto the main straight. And he is going to stop the electronic clock. He did not count that lap. So that one did not count. Yes, it did. 57.597. Move him to the outside of the front row. With a minute 59 left, only Alan Berteau and Sophia Connell have yet to take time, and they are not anywhere near the racing surface, Clindy.
Yeah, I don't believe they're going to give themselves an opportunity to qualify at this just shorter than 2-mile course with 12 turns. The flat beginning section known as the Festival Curves. And, oh, no, Alan Berteau is taking to the track right now and stops at the end of pit road. It looks like he is having a wheel issue. He had full lock left and then hopped out of the car. So maybe a little bit of equipment gremlins here.
Yeah, he's trying to get it going. Do want to thank everybody. Joining us. We've got Rashad Craig joining us. He says tire strap may be interesting. And we've got to watch the Red Bull livery send it into turn 1. The festival curves are always.
Oh, that's Alan himself. That's my livery. That is Alan.
Yeah. So those guys, if you don't, if you have not watched a race here at Portland, the first time through the festival curves is always a good time. They've reprofiled that over there several times to try to make it not so much of a crash point. And sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't. We actually made it all the way through here in the VOR race without anybody going off. So it would be interesting to see how this highly decorated field manages to get through there. As far as the strategy goes, I've heard through the grapevine from my man Rashad, 27 laps seems to be the upper limit for fuel, and the preferred tires are the blacks. At least that's the word on the street that I've got from one of my sources, Clindy. What do you know?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I know that I'm slow here. I know that I go off here a lot. I know that I don't know how to brake. I don't know how to turn. I really don't know why you have me in the booth this week, Murphy. I'm not going to be adding a whole lot. I'm just kidding.
Clindy, you're just fine. Let's go ahead and get into the starting lineup here for this evening's show at Portland. On the pole, Lorenzo Manfredotti. Outside of him, Brandon Roseborough, the old pro. Hamilton Akabuezi is going to start second. My goodness. Kevin DeSauniers is going to go third. He'll be flanked by Mitch Welker. Brandon Roseborough, the old pro, is going to start fifth. He'll have Alexander Miller alongside him. Nick Sudik, our good friend, is going to go seventh. He'll have Nadi Immel, a new face, in eighth. Rounding out the top 10, Mr. Non-Road Racer himself, Justin Brophy, and Shady Ahmed. Starting 11th, Matt Taylor, then Isabel Matthews, Olivia Hayward, Alex King, Mitchell Ian Green. Logan Edwards is going to go 16th. We've seen him doing some good things in a cab recently, Clindy, in the AMA. And so do want to wish Logan the best of luck. Alan Berteau and Sophia Connell are going to round out the field. It is 18 cars this evening for Portland.
18 should be enough to get us some side-by-side on-track action and be able to have us keep tabs on everyone in the field. I hope.
Most certainly so. Do want to thank. We're working with a different camera provider here tonight, Clindy, and so do want to give them a shout out right off the bat. Track cams for tonight's race were provided by SimWrap Market, your go-to source for iRacing paint templates, and broadcast resources. From clean-based deliveries to pro-level design assets, SimWrap Market has everything you need to build your brand on track. They also offer high-quality track camera packs to give your streams and replays that polished cinematic look. Visit simwrapmarket.com/download, customize, and race. So simwrapmarket.com, download, customize, and race. They've got the cameras for tonight, so we've got some different views for our fans tonight, Clindy, and there's one of them right above this field. Porsche 911 pace car is going to pull away here, and we're going to get on the rear deck lid of that thing.
A little bit of strategy before we take the green here. There's one driver on the alternate compound tire, Jason Brophy himself, bucking the trend, taking the home track advantage. Maybe he knows something the others don't about the Pacific Northwest. Starting on the red alternates while everyone else is on the black primaries.
Yeah, the black primaries are the preferred tire here, and my guess is you're going to want to go as long as you can, that full 27 laps being the upper limit. Stay on the blacks stay on the black primaries as long as possible, and then come in and grab those red sidewalled alternate tires. For Brophy, he's going to want to get as far up as fast as possible, as fast as he can, and then he's going to want to get off those things as soon as humanly possible. Following the field here as they make their way through turns 4 and 4A. Now we're headed down through this little kink-looking thing here. Did I say kink-looking thing, Clindy?
You did indeed.
This is a
no shame in that. No shame in that, Murphy. Not at all.
This is a lightning fast course. You come out of turn 9 right here, and you go down this long back straightaway, and then there's another kind of a kink at turn 10. A really quick left and then right situation at 11, and then you've got a big time sweeper in turn number 12. if you look through the aerial shot here, you'll see an escape road, and then at the end of that escape road, there's 2 walls, a building, and there's going to be a couple of outhouses as you see them. My VOR race ended next to those outhouses, which pretty much is a awesome approximation for my skill level. Be that as it may, the green flag is getting ready to fly. Barney has it in his hands. Field under the control of Lorenzo Manfredotti, and we are headed for the green flag.
What a jump from Lorenzo. He's clearing away into turn 1. They're gaggled up behind him as they dive into the chicane. 3 wide further back in the pack. No drama. Good job, drivers.
I don't see anybody off at the festival curves, and so we stay clean and green back up at the front. It is Lorenzo Manfredotti. He has already pulled out a huge gap over Hamilton Akabuezi. There's Manfredotti. He reaches out and races away. Clindy, Manfredotti already has a nearly 1 second lead over Hamilton Akabuezi.
I think he got half of that on the initial jump.
Yes, he did. Kevin DeSauniers is going to run third. And then you've got Mitch Welker and Brandon Roseborough. It's been a long time since we've seen some of these drivers, and we'll definitely go ahead and show all of them as we navigate 45 laps here at Portland tonight. There's Manfredotti. Hamilton Akabuezi that last time through was 1.2 seconds slower. So if that's the pace difference on these black primary tires, I think the rest of the field might be in for a long night. Meanwhile, we've got some action here toward the back of the pack. Looking at Logan Edwards, he is in a fight with Mitch Green, Olivia Hayward, the 2 cars in front of him. Alan Berteau, Sophia Connell are the 2 cars behind. I know that this is for 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. These cars all over each other. Jason Brophy, by the way, has moved from 9th up to 7th already, and he's drawing a beat on Alex Miller in 6th.
Yeah, he dispatched Naughty Emil through the festival curves this lap. He's really aggressively attacking Miller here. He's going to have a run down into the chicane. Down the front stretch, Brophy's got all the speed in the world. Those reds are gripped up, and he's going to be to the inside and probably dispatch Miller here right in the braking zone.
There he goes. And Alex Miller, smart enough to know that Jason Brophy is on the alternate compound tires. He knows that Brophy is likely going to come back to him, and so Jason Brophy makes the pass. He goes into 6th. Next up on the hit parade is Brandon Roseborough. Let's get on board of Jason Brophy, and we'll ride with the Power Slide Team Hype machine of Jason Brophy. Over the curves he goes.
He's going fishing for a geodesic car. He's reeling that in, getting it bigger and bigger. It's got that yellow and black sea bass striping on it. Looks really good.
It gives you an idea just how fast this course is. Portland is, I would term it races kind of like a small Road America, Clindy. It's except it's flat. So it's very flat and it's extremely quick.
Yeah, Jason Brophy really putting the hurt on Roseborough in the braking sections. I think his red sidewall tires are really good at going through those fast, flat sections. Jacob Collins and I were talking about this track earlier, and he compared it to Lime Rock, but flat. It's very, very quick laps, very, very fast, and you just click them off kind of like at an oval. And
yeah,
we did not race Lime Rock last season with the chicane, but he said that if we did, he would probably approach the race setup very similarly in open.
You know, he might. And the other thing is, you know, we were at Lime Rock with these cars, and so I wonder if that race kind of gave some of these guys and gals a primer as to what they could do. There you see Jason Brophy. He's drawing a bead on the geodesic machine of Brandon Roseborough. Meanwhile, Lorenzo Manfredotti, my goodness gracious, Clindy, he's half a second quicker on the primary tires as opposed to Brophy on the alternates. We're still looking at the telemetry of Jason Brophy because he's got the tiger by the tail. He is still closing down on Roseborough. He's within about half a second, give or take. And this is the best battle on the racing surface. Everybody else is kind of separated just that little bit extra. And you got Hamilton Akabuezi coming through, then Kevin DeSauniers, Mitch Welker, Brandon Roseborough, the aforementioned Brophy, Alex Miller, and Nadi Immel are going to come through the picture. And then behind them, you've got Nick Sadiq and Shady Ahmed. Matt Taylor is the purple car back there. So they're all kind of in a conga line, Clindy, but not a huge advantage for anybody. Jason Brophy, he's all over the button. He's going to go to the inside of Brandon Roseborough here toward the festival curves, and Roseborough gives it up. Brophy also goes to also nabs the purple lap, 59.088.
Maybe these red sidewall tires have a little more oomph in them than we thought in the pre-race. Brophy's definitely making hay now, but I mean, we are only a few laps into this event. 6 laps, working lap 6 rather. It's got to go about 39 more.
And it could be a situation where, it's setup dependent. The drivers that I talk to, they might have set their cars up specifically for the primary black tires, knowing that that was going, thinking that was going to be the preferred way to go. We do want to report that Alex Marsh King has retired his machine from the event, but it could just be one of those things, Clindy, where Brophy set his machine up to be kind to the alternate tires, and he thinks he can give them a go.
I know he's got the whole lab back at Power Slide. King himself found trouble in the festival curves, went off in the second or third of them. That slow winding section after the initial braking zone past the chicane just met an untimely end with the tire barriers there.
Mike Rigney wants to know what that kink looking thing is again. That would be my description, Mike, for turns 8 and 9, for turns 7, 8, 9 here at Portland. They're not really, 8 and 9 aren't really turns, so to speak. You see him come through, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. Let's ride on board Jason Brophy one more time. See if we can't watch him make a pass on Mitch Welker. Is going to be the next man up. We'll kind of take you through a lap here at Portland, all the way down to the festival curves. Turn 1, 170 miles an hour, hard on the brakes, down to first gear, and then you accelerate away through turn number 3. You're going to have a triple apex here. Turns 4, 4A, and 5, all right-handers.
These are the festival curves, Murphy. The initial chicane is not that.
Okay, so these are the festival curves, never mind. Through 6, now you're through 7, and here's that kink-looking thing right here, Mike. On the gas hard, there's 8, there's 9, and you'll see some guys run over that curb and get all the way next to the wall even. Clinty, we saw that in the Velocity Online race that was here earlier. 10, 11, hard on the brakes for 12. That is very difficult to do because your momentum is carrying you out into the grass in the braking zone, Clindy.
Yep, all done in under a minute, and you've got to have fast hands and easy feet to deal with the transitions between those sweeping curves and fast straightaways. My least favorite part of the track is on the backstretch where that wall juts out and grabs you. If you're trying to set up for 11 really, really well, you want to get all the way to the right, but the wall slams into you, and you get side pod damage there really, really easily.
Yes, you do indeed. We'll get from the fans' perspective. We'll take one more look at the weather. It is getting cooler here, Clindy. 67 in the air, 97 on the track. It's partly cloudy, and that just means we're going to see the speeds continue to drop. It's going to be interesting to see what Manfredotti can do on the red sidewall to alternates. Yeah, because
hopefully he stays awake. He's got no one in his zip code, so it's just another day in the office for Lorenzo.
Yeah, let's have a look at Lorenzo Manfredotti. There he is. He has led the entire race thus far. He is in the number 1, 84.28 on the iRating. Good-looking black and gold machine, AR on the side of it.
Huge number.
Yeah.
That's a big iRating.
That is
Welker has come right up on Kevin for third, and Brophy set a lap time that was half a second slower than these two fighting for the bottom step of the podium. So I wonder if the crossover point has happened on those alternates here just 10 laps in.
Highly possible. Brophy was one of the few cars over a minute the last time. There's where Clindy was talking about that wall that's going to jump out and try to grab you going down the backstretch. If you don't know that's there and you're just practicing, my goodness, you can hit that thing and you can hit it hard and hit it a ton. You are absolutely right, Mike Rigney. Jason Brophy does have pace, and he has it everywhere. Brian Greenlee says he just came to woo. Well, you go on right ahead, brother. We're watching. We're watching Mitch Welker gets it sideways in his pursuit of Kevin Desnoyers. My apologies.
I thought you knew how to say it. I avoided it because I did not.
That's quite all right. That's a new name for us in the broadcast, 4462 in the iRating. And so he is definitely plenty capable of running that Apex machine up toward the front, and he is definitely doing so. Or is that a fiercely forward?
It is a fiercely forward car. I was going to wonder if his last name is of French origin. It would be Desnoyers or Desnoyers. But
it is possible. We're going to have to ask Kevin about that if we get a chance to talk to him.
He's got to finish on the podium, so he's there right now. But Mitch Welker is trying very hard to make that not happen.
Most certainly so.
So we're thinking probably the first car that's going to peel off to pit road is going to be Jason Brophy.
Yeah, it's going to be Jason Brophy, and it's going to be, we would be looking at for him about, anywhere around lap 18, Clindy.
Lap 18 at the earliest, and then he'd have to run the whole rest of the race on one set of primes.
He's not doing too bad, though. His last time through was 59.507, so he's still faster than everybody but Manfredini and Akabuezi. So he's still in good shape on those alternate tires, and maybe he's figured something out with the setup so that he doesn't have to worry about burning them off, Clindy.
Well, and with these temperatures, it's entirely possible that the reds will hang on much longer than everyone was anticipating.
You know, you're 100% right, and it's still dropping. 67 in the air, 94 on the track now. And again, very light wind out of the southeast. 6 miles an hour isn't really going to affect anything too awfully badly here. Let's continue to kind of go through the field. Here's Hamilton Akabuezi in the fiercely forward machine. P1 docks on the side. Pink wing as always.
Ooh, we've got a battle between Nick Sudik and Naughty Emil.
Let's go back and have a look at it, Clindy.
They were all over each other in the chicane. It looks like Emil's been a couple tenths of a second a lap faster the past few laps. Shady Ahmed is an interested party. If they start mixing it up, he'll be right in the fight. Of course, as soon as I say that, Sudik has a crazy good festival curves and leaves Emil in the dust. So it's just the way it goes sometimes.
He does, and you know, it's difficult to say. Is that a setup thing? Is that a guy, a guy just had a bad set of corners? But here comes Emil. He's going to come right back to the outside of Nick Sudik, going down into the first chicane. Sudik on the preferred line. They get to the brakes.
This is where I think it might be a setup thing or a driver preference thing. Sudik is good at this second third of the track, but it looks like Emil's really good at the last third.
It could be, and it could just be, driver preference. Some guys brake a little bit earlier. Some guys, they brake a little bit later. Some guys get in the gas sooner or later, depending on how their car is set up and how they prefer to drive it. I'm a very early braker, and so I tend to have problems getting on the binders too early for the people behind me. It's just a preference thing. I brake earlier but longer. Does that make sense, Clindy?
Yeah, you got to put those caution lights up so that way people who know what they're doing don't run you over. Same thing for me.
I should put traffic cones on the back of my car because that's about how effective I am at these places. We're watching the battle between Nick Sudik and Naughty Emil. They've got Shady Ahmed. They've been dueling, and that battle has brought Shady Ahmed in the Mobile 1 entry back right up to them. Shady is 10th. Naughty Emil is going to have a lunge into turn 1. Doesn't quite get it done. And around we go for one more time here at Portland.
Yeah, and if that cools off, we've got that 4-car battle brewing for 13th. Ohe has got Ian Green right on her rear spoiler with old Narc Brain, Logan Edwards lurking in the wings, and Alan Berteau with the Red Bull wrap bringing up the tail end of the train.
Yeah, and so there's that battle right there. You've got Ohe in the familiar pinkish orange, blue, and black machine, trailed by Mitchell Ian Green. They've got Matt Taylor in front of them in the MadWorks car. And then back behind them, Logan Edwards and Alan Berteau still in tow. I got to think that this could Clindy be a pretty good battle of brewing. And yes, Mr. Greenlee, that is Matt Taylor in 12th. That is the MadWorks entry. We'll go ahead and show him. There he is. If anybody out there would like to ask Clindy and I a question, more than happy to answer. Just throw it in the chat, and we'll go ahead and respond to you. Good turnout tonight for a track that is brand new in iRacing. Clindy, this track's only been in the service since the last update, right?
Yeah, just 4 weeks old.
Yeah, and we're putting it to good use here. We do have a move for position. That is Logan Edwards all over Mitchell Ian Green. Can't quite get it done. Logan's going to come back at him, though.
Not brave enough to shove it into 11. Let's see how Edwards sets up turn 12 and the front stretch. Taking a peek to the inside, draws alongside. Less traction on the lower side there. And he'll have to regroup before the chicane.
He's on the button.
Looking to the outside here, braking late. Edwards to the outside. And here comes Berteau. He might get past them both.
Well, Berteau's not going to have the preferred line, or is he? Logan Edwards drove it so deep he slid through turns 1 and 2. Has to gather it back up. The Luke Mansky Motorsports entry does hold off Alan Berteau, and so Edwards will maintain 15th position. Do want to kind of continue to go through the field. That is Kevin Desnoyers.
KD.
Yeah, we'll call him KD. So there's KD. That is a Fiercely Ford entry that bears a striking resemblance to somebody familiar, Clindy. But KD is going to be in the number 8 car. He runs third. Mitch Walker is...
He just had a huge moment off of turn 12. He was crossed sideways both directions, left and right, coming off of 12, and Brophy has now closed that gap. He's doing it again. Welker is all sorts of slideways here in Portland.
Yes, he is. And you got to wonder maybe if maybe he's kind of torched those tires or buzzed them a little bit, and you got to let them cool off. If you don't do that, it's like driving on ice for a lap or two. You got to be kind of careful if you get one sideways that you're on tiptoes for at least a little bit just to kind of get your stuff cooled off.
There
Welker
he goes again! Every lap, Welker putting on a show. And it's so funny. He's so hot, he's turned into ice.
There's Brophy in 5th. We've talked about him quite a bit. Brandon Roseborough is in 6th, and he got really wiggles going into turn number 1. Out safely through. Alex Miller is going to run 7th in the TMR entry, the familiar green and black of Alex Miller. We see
Matt
him
Taylor
a
just
lot.
about lost it off of 12 as well. He's lost 2 or 3 spots from that. He locked it down and missed pit wall, lost a spot to Ian Green and Ohe. Now he falls to the clutches of Logan Edwards.
Yeah, let's actually get in the Wayback Machine and see what's befallen Matt Taylor here. So here he is. He's coming through turn 10, turn 11, into 12. So what happened?
On pit road.
Oh, he hit a bump. He hit the bump. Meanwhile, you are absolutely correct. Jason Brophy has brought it to pit lane. We're going to cover the stop because Jason Brophy is the first car to bring it to the pit lane. Now Matt Taylor is going to come in. This is unscheduled for Taylor, and he's going to have to go 25 laps on the red sidewall alternate tires, Clindy. That is, that's going to hurt.
I think he might just need to catch his breath, is all. Brophy's pretty fortunate here. He's going to come out with a ton of clean air. Sophia Connell's the next car up the road, and she's got good enough pace to where she's, 5 or 6 seconds ahead of Brophy. Won't be immediately impeding him, and will probably run out this stint without them ever coming into contact.
Yeah, the gap is 7.6 seconds.
Oh, Brophy is off. Brophy is off on cold tires in the festival curves.
Yes, he is. He's on the grass. He's not going to... Nothing hurt on that power slide team hype entry, but hyper slide as we call him. Nothing hurt, but he is
hyper sliding through the grass and back on track. Lost about 2 seconds there.
Yeah, well, to Sophia Connell, it was more like 5. It was more like 4. He was 8 seconds. He was almost 8 seconds behind. Now he's 12, and he is still fighting that machine, trying to get those primary tires up to temperature. And Clindy, he's in for the fight of his life. Let's watch him come off at turn 12. What happened to Matt Taylor that we kind of watched when you called Brophy into pit lane was, you'll see as the cars come through we'll show Shady Ahmed going through, well, let's do Nick Sudik, because Sudik is closer. So Nick Sudik's going to come through turn 11 into turn 12, and you'll see this little cutout on the curb at the end. Taylor dropped his left rear off into the grass. It kicked him sideways, and if you get wide off of turn number 12, it's very much like Sunset at Sebring, where if you get anywhere off the racing line, it is very bumpy. There's a bump out there. Taylor hit it just right, and it kicked him sideways. So there you go, Clindy.
Great job saving that car, but lost a bunch of track position and time to the leader, as did Jason Brophy. So we'll see where he will cycle out once everyone else pits for their red sidewall tires. Hopefully, he didn't lose so much ground that the great job he did on those alternates doesn't go to waste. Hopefully, he'll only fall back to like Alex Miller 3 or so.
That is the hope. We're looking at Nadi Emmel. He is the 13 car running in 8th, Clindy.
Sudik has put a little bit of distance between himself and Emmel, and they were fiercely fighting over that 7th place earlier in the race.
Indeedly do. There's Shady Ahmed in the Mobile 1 entry. Give a shout out to Isabel Matthews right there, running along in 10th in the number 15 car. It is a short-handed split. We were looking at 18 cars here, Clindy, and so that's awesome to see. That's awesome to see Isabel.
Anytime you can beat your car number by 5 spots, it's a good day.
Yes, it is. Mitchell Ian Green is 11th for Fury. Oh, hey, Olivia.
Like he's gotten by Oh Hey.
Yeah, it's dropped Oh Hey to 12th. There she is. Logan Edwards is 13th. Sophia Connell is 14th in the second TMR machine. And that'll bring us back to Jason Brophy. Matt Taylor has just set the fastest lap of the race. Do want to point out that Alain Bruteau has also stopped and got himself some red sidewalled alternate tires, but he's also gone a lap down to do it, as did Matt Taylor. And he's come out right in front of Akabueze, and he's giving Akabueze fits here through the festival curves. Yeah, Hamilton Akabueze needs to get by the lap machine of Alain Bruteau, and let's hop on the roll hoop if I can find it.
So if I'm Hamilton, I actually consider pitting here just to get out from behind a Bruteau. I mean, Hamilton's not in the worst position. Lorenzo's got him beat 8 ways from Wednesday, 5.5 seconds up the road, and he's got a teammate behind. So he's not in terrible jeopardy of being jumped right now, but there he comes to pit road. Smart racers thinking alike. Who says I don't know nothing about road racing?
You know far more than I do, Clindy. Lorenzo Manfredotti, he's going to go back to the purple lap. 58.945. Mitch Welker, he answers back. 58.922. So the light fuel and the warm primary tires, they're serving to see some guys. Go fast. Service is nearly complete for Hamilton Akabueze, but Mitch Welker is hunting down KD.
Yeah, he let those black primary tires on fire, sliding them through the corners, but now his stopwatch is on fire. Mitch Welker is on the move. He is hunting down KD for what will be third place.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll get into the helmet of Mitch Welker through turns 10 and 11.
Look at the ground he makes up there. He is so late on the brakes.
Yeah, KD's coming to pit lane.
To pit road.
Yeah, KD's going to come to pit lane. He sees that coming and says, "Man, I need to get off. I need to get off of these things and get onto the red alternate tires." Alan Berteau goes to the purple lap. Meanwhile, Mitch Welker has lit the fuse on the number 7. He is every inch as fast as Lorenzo Manfredini right now. Their fastest laps, Clindy, they're only separated by a couple of hundredths of a second.
17 of them to be precise, which is basically nothing. That's about that's 10 times more than what I lost by last night at Indianapolis, but that's small potatoes when
Yeah, that was a fun race that we had last night in the votive INDYCAR Series, and of course they're going to be taking their mid-spring break, shall we call it, Clindy? The next race in that series is what, the beginning of May? Or is it a little bit...
No, it's in June 8th.
Ah, very good. So we're going to have a very unique situation here as we watch Mitch Welker work. The Dark Horse DW12 Series and the Votive Indy Oval Series are going to share Sunday nights, and that's a huge deal because I know myself. I will be doing both series. Clindy, we going to see you in the older car?
Yes, I will be giving the DW12 the old college try, so to speak, and I'll be branching out a little bit more when Rigney takes Isra somewhere that's not open wheel. I figure I owe everyone in that league their dues to punch on me if we go to tin tops, because I'm certainly giving them a whipping right now, and I need my just desserts. I can't just deliver the whippings. I got to take them too.
Yeah, I think Mike is exactly right there, and I love that format that we have on Monday night, and that race from Milwaukee will be live with Gary Gonzo, 9:35 Eastern, right here on the P1 Broadcasting Network. Following this broadcast, Clindy and I are going to jump in the corporate jet and head to Milwaukee. But
we got a Concorde lined up to get us halfway across the country in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, no joke. But that's a neat deal, and I think that's awesome to see leagues working together. So we're going to have the Dark Horse DW12 Series starting May the 4th, and then on June the 8th, it'll be the third Kentucky Indy Derby in the Votive Series to kick off their season. And then those two series are going to alternate Sunday nights through the beginning of October. And so if you're looking for more IndyCar iRacing action here on the P1 Broadcasting Network, you absolutely have it. Of course, following this race, we're going to immediately go to the ISRA at Milwaukee. And Mitch Welker has come into the pit lane, as has Lorenzo Manfredini. And let's watch these pit stops, Clindy. Let's watch these pit stops.
Everyone who is yet to pit are all in. So Roseborough's in, Miller is in, and Manfredini will be the first one done with his service. He comes to a stop in his box cleanly on his marks, a little close to the wall, but he's got such a big lead, that won't hurt him. On go the alternate tires, and he fires away into the chicane. No traffic to be seen. Manfredini, clean stop, down and away.
Yep, and nobody anywhere near to Manfredini. He is on the red alternate tires, and he is gone. 6.4 seconds as KD takes the purple lap. 6.3 seconds on Hamilton Akaboise.
Logan Edwards has gone to work. He is now on the rear tailgate of Mitchell Welker. He has found a lot of pace in those red sidewall tires. He was well out of touch of these leaders, and now he's going to be fighting for a podium here. Mitch Welker has lost touch a little bit with the Fiercely Forward cars. They put down some really good lap times on the reds.
Well, here's the situation. Logan Edwards is still out on his original set of primaries. He's still out there.
Shame on me. Shame on me, Murphy. That's what I get for not looking at the scoreboard.
He is still out there on his original. No, it's a good point. He's still out there on his original set. And here he is. He's going to come to pit lane, and this is going to be interesting to see where Logan Edwards cycles out. He was running, what, 14th, 15th, something like that.
Correct. He was running back with Olivia Hayward and Ian Green in the fight for 13th or so.
We've got a Gogo Sudik in the chat, and so do thank Eyes for tuning it in. If you have not already done so, and we know that by YouTube analytics, about half of the people that watch do not, make sure you smash the like button on the video. Subscribe to the channel. If you do subscribe, we are on our way to 1,000, and when we get there, my man Clindy is going to break out the rattle can and paint some names on the side of his Votive Racing League sponsored Rogue Racing entry, and so make Clindy repaint his car. It's always good to see him have to do something other than practice, because the less he practices, the less he gets a chance to beat me. So go ahead and...
I've been doing a lot of practice recently, Murph, but for every 100 subscribers, I'm going to draw a name. Basically, I think once a month, I think I'm going to do this. I'll draw a subscriber's name and put it on the car, and when I get a podium, I'll shout all 10 of those people out. Or, for every 100 we have. So, we get to 1,100, it'll be 11 names, 1,200, 12, etc., etc.
It would be extremely fun if I was one of those names. Anyway, Logan Edwards comes back out 15th, so right where he started. He is on the red sidewalled alternate tires. Jason Brophy, it's worth noting, his little slide right there cost
him big.
Yeah, it cost him 5 seconds or so. He is now 10th. Had he not done that, he would be right on the tailpipes of Nick Sudik. And so that was a big time off for Jason Brophy. If anybody can make it up, it is Jason Brophy. That is
we like to call it a little oopsie, Mark. He didn't hit anything. He's fine.
Oopsie. Yeah, he didn't hit anything. Just, the landscaping was a little bit off over there in turn 4, and he wanted to make sure that the grass was properly cut. Lorenzo Manfredotti, 57.649. And now he's approaching times that we set in qualifying here, Clindy.
Yeah, peak levels of heat in the alternates and a lighter tank than when he first stopped. Just going to go faster and faster here for a few laps until these tires cliff.
Yeah, and that's the way you got to do it sometimes. For Jason Brophy, he's waiting on the other end of it. He's waiting on the guys that are on the red sidewalled alternate tires. He's waiting for them to fall off.
And I really do think that Welker here will have a substantial advantage on Akabueze and KD running 2 and 3. He's got 5 extra laps, basically, on Akabueze. So that tire advantage will only play into his hand the longer they run here. He does have to make up a bit of a deficit, but his tires will be much better when we come to the closing stages of this race. There
you go, and we're going to hop on board with Mitch Welker. He is the man in hot pursuit. That last time by, Mitch Welker 58.470 to 58.852 for Akabueze and 58.779 for KD. That is the fastest man on the track at the moment, Mitch Welker.
Berteau and Edwards are side-by-side on the backstretch. Edwards yields, so that side-by-side fight has calmed for the moment.
Oh, I have a feeling it's going to heat back up. We have seen Logan Edwards absolutely wheel a race car here on P1. He's been doing it in an Xfinity car. He does it in a truck. He's doing it in an IndyCar on a road course tonight. And I would bet you a shiny new dime, Clindy, we're going to see him in the top split doubleheader tomorrow night right here at 8:15 on P1.
Yeah, that new Atlanta track in this IndyCar is a NASCAR driver fever dream. You get to put the pedal to the metal and pretend like it's Dega.
I think I'm going to enjoy that from the safety of my television set. I will let.
I'm sure.
I will let my good
Double
friends.
G will love to have you make a cameo in the booth if you wanted.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to get people to subscribe to the channel, Clindy, not turn away. So, yeah, we're trying to get people to light up the subscribe button. So keep me out of the booth, right? No, I'm playing. Always good to be in the booth, and always good to be here with our subscribers, friends. Clindy and I enjoy doing this. It's very much like watching a race with your friend, watching a race with your buddy, as opposed to working a broadcast. Watching Logan Edwards, he is all over the back of Alan Berteau. He's going to sneak to the inside. He's going to try to get there going into turn number 4. Remember, triple apex right-hander, but no, Berteau cuts him off. That was close, Clindy. That was real close.
Bertel polished up his mirrors before this race. I'm pretty sure that's what he was doing on pit road instead of qualifying.
Yeah, we're gonna get on the gearbox of Alan Berteau, because this man right here is putting on a clinic, staying in front of Logan Edwards, and I would reckon that Logan Edwards is the faster machine at this point.
Yeah, Edwards was 0.3 of a lap faster last time by.
He's on the button now, Clindy. Here we go. They're both on the button.
In front of them, Matt Taylor just jumped the curb, and that opens up the door for Ian Green.
Not quite close enough. He can't get there, but they are all over each other going into 4. Holy Moses, that was close. So we've got 2 battles really deep in this field. KD and Mitch Welker, that has kind of subsided. Akaboise, KD.
Kind of. Mitch Welker's almost there. I think in 2 laps, he's going to be right up KD's tailpipe.
I'm watching the gap. He's got 7/10, so when it gets under that, we'll definitely go there. It is worth pointing out that Olivia Hayward and Sophia Connell have poked their noses into this fight. This is for 14th, 15th, 16th. Logan Edwards is going to give it one more shot here. On the button one more time.
That's what happens when you clash side by side pod to side pod, lap after lap. The drivers behind you start reeling you in. Edwards looks to the inside and goes late on the brakes. Berteau cuts the second apex close, but Edwards is going to have the run off the corner.
Here he goes. Not on the button, going into 4. 4A.
Look at Ohey closing the gap. This is going to be a 3-car race.
It most certainly is. Look at the alternate line from Edwards. He's going to try to get the launch off the corner here and shoot to the inside going in to turn 8. Not quite. Logan Edwards is looking for any and every opportunity through turn 9, down the backstretch, looking for any opportunity to try to make this pass. Meanwhile, Mitchell Ian Green is all over the back of Matt Taylor in the MadWorks entry. We're going to hop on board with him. On the button, here we go, Clindy.
Side by side into the chicane. Taylor breaks later this time. And he gets outdone.
Yeah, Mitchell Ian Green did not outbreak himself. And here's the battle for the final step on the podium. Mitch Welker, as the push to pass lights up. We've got push to pass remaining with 8 laps to go listed on the scoring pylon. Mitch Welker not on the button. 57 seconds left for him. 112 seconds for KD. Here's Welker.
He doesn't need to be on the push-to-pass button. He needs to be on the brake pedal. KD is not getting into the braking zone as good as Welker. If you're familiar with the Formula Indy Series, there's a phrase that Welker's strategist uses every time when there's a split decision. He says, I always trust Mitch's pace. Mitch is so consistent and so lights out at road courses. Let's see what he does here with the Fiercely Forward duo ahead of him.
Yes, he is. And Mitch Welker is a multi-time winner, multi-time champion in the Formula Indy Series that you can catch here on Wednesday nights on the P1 Broadcasting channel. And that one's fun, Clindy, because it is all road courses save for one oval. It is Formula One rules with IR18, standing starts and the whole bit. Mitch Welker is a champion in that series, and he's showing us why. All over the back of KD for third place here.
Oh, Berteau did get by. Edwards did get by Berteau. So move old Narc Brain up to 14th and Berteau back to 15th.
100%. We're going to stay with this battle here. The story is right there in the lap since last pit for KD and Hamilton Akaboise. Mitch Welker, 3 laps newer on the red alternate tires than KD, 4 laps newer than Hamilton Akaboise, and that could prove big because the cliff for KD and Hamilton is quickly approaching. It's not going to quite get there as fast for Mitch Welker.
Yeah, Mitch Welker is pretending like he's Scar and the Lion King, and these two are Mufasa, and they're about to go tumbling down the cliff. I know we were talking about Disney movies earlier, Murph. I had to.
We were. So my daughter stayed home from school today, Clindy. She stayed home from school today with a fever, and so I believe she watched in order 3 episodes of Bluey, Moana, The Price is Right, Moana 2, and Mufasa. In that order while I was at work.
I can't even tell you the type of donuts I had for breakfast, Murph. You've got an iron trap up there.
No, she wrote it all down for me. That's how I know.
Oh, she did her homework. She got producer's notes and everything.
She did. Mitch Welker is on the button, and that's my producer note. And I don't have to be all that smart to see it. It lights up on the Christmas tree to my left. I'm looking down at Mitch Welker's steering wheel as he is in hot pursuit of KD for that third and final spot. This is not only the closest battle on the track, but Clindy, it is by far the most meaningful. KD is holding on, but Mitch Welker's coming.
Yeah, they're both hauling the mail right now. Both well within the 58-second bracket.
Mitch Welker that time, 59.000. Kevin Desnoyers, 59.011. So nearly identical lap times, Clindy. Now,
Aguabueza gets to kind of walk away from them.
Well, and the advantage for Mitch Welker would usually be, that the car in front is going to break the draft. Not so in this instance, because KD is just close enough to have the benefit of the draft from Hamilton Aguabueza in front. He gets to not use as much push to pass as Mitch Welker does, trying to get by him, and that's a huge advantage for the car in the middle, or for the car in third place that's in the middle. KD just close enough, 1.7 seconds, that he's feeling the effects of the draft from second place Hamilton Aguabueza, and I would venture a guess that might be the hidden reason Mitch Welker hasn't been able to make the move. He's getting pulled along just enough in the high-speed sections, Clindy.
Perhaps. The draft is definitely exponential. The closer you are, the more it'll pull you along. Not only that, it also becomes dirty air in these flatter, more technical portions of the circuit. So it is both a help and a hindrance. I think Mitch Welker is feeling that dirty air really adversely currently, because he is really struggling to keep up with KD in the flat, fast sections like the Festival Curves and Turn 12.
Yes, he is. We're going to cut back and give the man his due. Lorenzo Manfredotti, 11 seconds in the lead all alone, and he has caught Ohe and Alan Bruchot here. So already lapping cars in what amounts to a race that's a stint and a half. That's pretty stout, Mr. Clinworth. Ohe goes off in front of the leader, and I believe that was almost I'm going to pull over in the grass and let the leader go.
Yep, that was calculated. That was 1,000% intentional.
Yeah, and sometimes you'll see drivers do that, and that's great sportsmanship from Olivia Hayward. I have done that myself. There are places you can do that and do it safely and not cause an issue. Another one of those, if you're watching, another one of those is at turn 12, and we'll show it the next time we come through. Here's Lorenzo Manfredotti. My goodness. Clindy, I think I'm getting old man brain. He's about to put a lap on Alan Bruchot, going through turn 1, turn 2. We've got a car off in front. That's going to be Matt Taylor.
Oh, no, Matt Taylor. The old Reds gave out on him.
Yes, they did. We're going to go back and take a look at that for Matt Taylor here. As soon as I can get it called up. So there he is. He's going through this very difficult turn 1, 2, 3 complex here. He is by far on the oldest alternate tires in the field, just trying to make it home. 23 laps on those things. He's going to catch a little bit too much curb. You see the car start to bounce, porpoise, whatever it does, and around he goes, just lights the rear tires up. Safely through goes Logan Edwards. But the MadWorks entry, I believe Matt Taylor has had enough of those tires. Meanwhile, he's going to be under fire from Sophia Connell. Sophia is going to go to the inside in the Taylor Mills Racing entry. So move Sophia Taylor up to 16th. Matt Taylor goes through and they touch. They hit Clindy.
No. 4X's abound.
Yes, they do.
It looks like Connell just got on the brakes a little too hard and locked up the rears, went for a slide, and Taylor had nowhere to go.
No.
Connell is now right in front of KD and Welker, who are battling for third. Welker gets hung up here, and now he is not able to contest the podium. That is not what Mitch Welker wanted to see.
No, it's not. We're going to go back to Lorenzo Manfredotti, because here he is going through turn number 12. He is going to come through and take the win here at Portland. So there goes Lorenzo Manfredotti. And then here comes Hamilton Akabuezi. He's going to go through. He'll come in behind Matt Taylor. He'll come through behind Matt Taylor. He'll be second. KD behind in third. And Mitch Welker, he gave it the college try, my man, but just came up short. Brandon Roseborough is going to finish a fine fifth. Alex Miller III is sixth. Nadi Immel is going to be seventh. And here's Nick Sudik. And here's what I was trying to... Nick Sudik is going to come through. I'm going to try to show what I was talking about through Isabel Matthews. So as you come through here, there's an escape road off to your left. And you can actually pull down...
Jason Brophy is around on the last corner.
Yes, he is.
He came to terms all by himself. It looks like he was under
And we're going
fire.
to have a race. Isabel Matthews is going to go through, as is Shady Ahmed. So drop Jason Brophy to... No, excuse me, that was Mitchell Ian Green. Jason Brophy was going to finish 9th. He comes through in 12th. My goodness gracious.
He and Shady Ahmad were having some negotiations coming through 12, and I think Brophy got put in the marbles, just trying to leave space, and then had to do a 3-point turn and wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, there you go. So I like how you put that, Clindy. Negotiations.
All of my vocabulary is Luke.
Yeah, there he goes. He got in that little grass cutout there, Clindy, and shot him sideways. You're exactly right. There was no contact, but he did go wide and get in that little area where the grass cuts out. And then he might have been better advised here just to grab reverse and cross the line in reverse. But he's not doing that. Instead, he's going to try to do the 3-point turn.
I mean, he does run reverse for a couple of seconds, but he gets it flicked around, does a little bit of a J-turn, keeps on trucking.
Now, the car will go 120 some odd miles an hour in reverse, and don't ask me how I know that. Anyway, to the finishing order we do go.
You think Lorenzo knows this was the broadcast? You think Lorenzo's in the P1 Discord?
Oi, no idea, Clindy. That's a great question. Lorenzo Manfredotti dominates the Indy Open top split here at Portland. Hamilton Akabuezi is going to be second. Kevin Desnoyers is third. Mitchell Welker takes home fourth. Brandon Roseborough, the old pro, he'll bring it home fifth. Alex Miller, Nadi Immel, Nick Sudik, Shady Ahmed, and Isabel Matthews are going to round out your top 10. In 11th, Mitchell Ian Green. Jason Brophy is 12th. Give 13th to the Logan Edwards. He's the last car on the lead lap. Barely so, Clindy. Alan Bruchot is 14th. Oh, hey, Olivia Hayward. 15th, Matt Taylor. 16th, Sophia Connell. 17th, after their disagreement going into turn number 1 on the final lap. And Alex Marsh King retired his machine on lap number 6.
Tire barriers got hungry and ate him up. We've got Hamilton Akabuezi and Kevin D in the interview room. So whenever you're ready, Murph, I can pull up Kevin. Excuse me, everyone at home. My tongue has been tied and tired. I spent a lot of time on the phone today.
Yes, indeedy. Do appreciate everybody's patience. I believe I've got everything queued up. We will kill the music. Go ahead and bring Kevin up.
He's here.
Yeah, Kevin, you got Mark and Clindy in the P1 broadcasting booth. You got a copy?
First time here. How's it going?
It's not going too bad, Kevin, and thank you so much for joining us. Solid run. You were getting closed down pretty handily by Mitch Welker there at the end. Kind of walk us through your strategy to stay ahead of a very rapid and charging number 7 machine on those old alternate tires.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't have much of a strategy. I saw my teammate Hamilton went in, so I went in the lap after, and then it kind of just ended up working out because I got a huge gap in front of Mitchell, but he had like he had a three lap offset. He pressured tires and he started closing down, but not really passing this track. It's pretty tough, so position is really key.
Clindy?
Yeah, Kevin, so I've got 2 burning questions for you. The first one is, how do you pronounce your last name? And the second one is, do you have any tips for aspiring iRacers out there on how to be faster here in qualifying since passing is so hard?
I'd say it's pronounced exactly how it looks. Nothing special. Desnoyers. How have you been pronouncing it?
I avoided it because I did not know.
I think I said it 19 different ways. So Desnoyers it is. We will commit that to memory, Kevin.
To be fast in qualifying, it just takes practice, and you have to know the limits of the car, and you just have to kind of adjust like the conditions a little bit, because there was a bit of a tailwind in turn 1, so I broke a little bit too early in quali. I think I lost like a 10th probably turn 1, and there's the T1 curb on the inside is very unpredictable, so I don't know, in this track you kind of have to pray to RN Jesus a little bit.
Gotcha.
I'll make sure to say a little prayer for him this Easter. So
Yes.
You earned your bronze medal today. Any friends, family, sponsors, or shout-outs you'd like to give? The floor is yours.
Yeah, I know, to my teammates, I wouldn't know what to do without them. I'm pretty inexperienced in IndyCar. I come from sports car.
Well, you look like a seasoned vet today. Great job, Kevin. And we'll wish you best of luck in the Open Series if we see you again on the broadcast. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for being here. That is Kevin Desnoyers. He's going to bring it home third today, on the middle step of the podium, we've got Hamilton Akabuezi. Hamilton, you got Mark and Clindy in the P1 broadcasting booth. How were those reds at the end, my man? That's my first question. My second one is, what's it going to take to close down the gap to Lorenzo for the rest of the week?
I think like the reds were easy like the whole time. To be honest, the harder tire is the blacks, just because you lose a lot of rear grip. Yeah, at the start of the race, I did 15 minutes of practice, so 0 practice laps on blacks. So I just took a minute to get used to them. When I was up to speed, I was able to match Lorenzo pretty decently. But yeah, just need to find the pace more earlier on. Like, I was really good end of the stint, definitely really, really fast. Find a little more pace early on, and it was just, yeah, a lot of the time lost was Alan coming out of the pits right in front of me. That lost me a lot of time, because I was like, 5 seconds back before I pitted, but yeah.
It was like upper edges of 5, maybe 6 flat. And that did, you wind up 10.6 at the end, but that did cost you quite a bit of time. You did have a teammate. You had Kevin behind you, under fire from Mitch Welker. Did that allow you to save the alternates at all, or were you good to go if you needed to?
Nah, I'm just driving normal pace the whole time. I know the pace will come back to me. Just because, they both have fresher tires, so I'm just, I'm down a bit for the first part, but then, yeah, I'm pretty good on the tires, and I'm always better at the end of the stint, so, yeah. I would have never pitted that early. If I didn't have Alan in front of me, I would have pitted, like, lap 28 when the rest of them did, so.
Copy that, Mr. Clinworth?
I'm glad I was able to get the strategy call right from the booth. So, Hamilton, thanks for making me look smart for the first time on broadcast all season. The rest of the time, I've been kind of at a loss on these road courses. What do you do to be fast here? I have no idea how to do it. You don't have to give me all your secrets, but for me and all the aspiring iRacers watching at home, give us one little nugget. What can we do to be better here at Portland since it's a brand new track and no one knows what they're doing but you, it seems like?
I mean, one thing is people are not confident over the curbs. Like turn one curb is terrifying. It's kind of random the way it bounces you. It feels like sometimes, but yeah, being good over the curbs. Really gotta roll on minimum speed just because, yeah, I mean, the more your rotation you put in it, the better. Obviously, it gets harder to drive. You just kind of gotta be able to deal with that. So, yeah, and then the last sector was hard just because it really wants to break loose sometimes through there, like really fast, left, right. So, yeah, just it's a lot of commitment at this track for sure, rolling speed.
Well, you're definitely known. I was going to say, you're definitely known for your commitment, Hamilton, and because of your commitment, you are on the podium one more time, my man. You know the drill. The mic is yours, friends, family, sponsors. The floor is yours.
Yeah, shout out First Ford. Kevin was showing up, ran some IndyCar. He ran Long Beach last week, which is cool. Yeah, hopefully more people on the team start running. That'd be nice. Then yeah, Nick as well. His race is a little unfortunate, but I mean, still cool that he's always around. Having him on the team is great. So yeah, and then shout out P1 Docs. I mean, we all put in very little practice, so we just ran the set as is, and it was pretty good. So yeah, shout out to Christian for that.
Absolutely. Well, keep going fast, having fun, Hamilton. We will see you next week, my friend.
Cool. See you.
Yep. So that is Hamilton Akabuezi. He is going to be credited with second place. We do not have the winner, Lorenzo Manfredotti, in the Discord. And so I do want to give him all of the plaudits and his due. Lorenzo demolished the field. He runs the trifecta. Well, he does not get the trifecta. Hamilton Akabuezi, and no, he does. He had the only lap in the 57-second bracket, 57.649. His fast lap was nearly Clindy a second clear of Hamilton Akabuezi, and so give Lorenzo Manfredotti his due. Clindy, do you have any final thoughts before we get out of here? We got a race to make, brother.
Yeah, we're gonna hop on the private P1 jet, hop over to Milwaukee, and trade one flat, fast track for another. One with left and rights to one to just lefts. So. Rumble strips will be just as dangerous at Milwaukee. We'll see who comes to grief on those, but I'm just going to try to keep my nose clean because the last time I had an outing at Milwaukee didn't go so well. But, you know, for everyone at P1 Broadcasting, I thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you when we're on the track in just a little bit. Take us out, Murph.
Absolutely. Do want to thank everybody. Another big audience tonight. If you do enjoy these broadcasts, make sure you smash the like button on the video, grab the subscribe button, ring the bell so that you are subscribed to all of the action here at the P1 Broadcasting Network. For Kyle Clinmore, myself, Mark Murphy, you thought you had your tongue tied, Clindy. For myself, Mark Murphy, our founder, Gary Godso, Kyle Clinmore, and everybody that's associated with the P1 Broadcasting Network, we do want to thank you, the fans, and we also would like to thank all of the first responders, police, fire, military, EMS, the nurses and the ERs that do the hard work in the middle of the night so that we can lay our heads on the pillow in peace. We certainly do thank you. Our next broadcast in the Indy Open Series is going to be next week from the Oval at Motegi, and won't that be fun, Clindy?
Another flat and fast oval. I love that Japanese egg.
Yes, it is. So, for everybody, good night. Clindy and I are headed for the airport.